What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we get some brand new hype for the Lightfall expansion kicking off in Destiny 2 next month. And today it comes in the form of the weapons and gear trailer for the expansion. So as always, Bungie bring a lot of hype with these trailers, and we get a better look at some of the rewards that we'll be chasing on Neomuna, of course some new gameplay, and plenty of teasers. So in the video today we'll break down everything we see in the trailer, as well as some of the info for the weapons and gear we see. As always, I hope you guys enjoy this one. If you do, be sure to get subscribed for more content as we approach Lightfall, but without further delay, let's get into it. As always with these kind of videos, we should watch the trailer in full initially, and then we'll talk a little bit about some of what we see, so here it is. And so as we can see right there, a pretty awesome trailer, and actually one that reveals quite a bit of information about some of the gear that we're going to see in the expansion. In a lot of clips in the trailer, it's kind of breaking down abilities, perks, and things like that. So in the opening screen right here, we can see Guardians with 3 different weapons. There's the new glaive, the sidearm, and the Quicksilver Storm. And firstly, Bungie show off right here a new sidearm. Presumably this is exotic. It's called Final Warning, and it comes with charged tracking rounds. We can see the Warlock right here firing the weapon, and there's an element of those projectiles automatically tracking towards enemies, which is pretty cool. And they continue on with what presumably are more exotic. So right here we have the Deterministic Chaos, a new exotic machine gun with rhythmic debuffs, which is pretty interesting, of course. The weapon itself looks really cool, and we can see in the trailer the 4th shot weakens enemies, and then the 16th shot will make enemies volatile. And so this looks like it's going to be a pretty fun weapon that could definitely be pretty strong for some kind of mid-tier ad control, including some tankier targets, and of course, Bungie are taking advantage of volatile and the various verb effects in the game. We also see that they're going to be doing more of that with Strand itself. And so as well as the weapons in the trailer, they also show off some exotics, including inside of PvP a little bit right here. And this new Hunter exotic, which I can't even begin to attempt to try and say the name of that, but it allows Grapple to give Woven Mail. And we can see from the gameplay right here that actually provides flinch resistance for Woven Mail, so could be a pretty strong one inside of PvP. And we also get a better look at the new sniper rifle right there. This is a legendary sniper, which was previously revealed as part of the Neomuna set of weapons, the ones that look very similar to the moon weapons from back in Shadowkeep. There's been a whole discussion about that, but the neon effect is definitely cool in itself, and I like the scope right there as well. But a flinch-resistant Hunter exotic is obviously on the way right there. And here we see the Titan with the Quicksilver Storm, some of the new Neomuna armor, and some exotic boots, and these are the Abeyant Leaps, where Barricade spawns additional lashes. So this is a Strand thing as well, and we can see the lashes there on the ground are sort of firing out in this wave. We can see 3 of them, and each one contains a handful of individual projectiles potentially, which is then affecting a bunch of the enemies, and the Strand is holding them there in place. Bungie are going to be doing a lot of stuff with these kind of debuffs as well. But here we get the Quicksilver Storm with its catalyst, and grenades create tangles on kills. This will actually interact with Strand stuff, and when getting the grenade kills right here, we can see these tangles can actually be picked up by players and thrown. So definitely some interesting effects going to be going on with Strand here. And then Bungie show off the Warmers, a Warlock exotic right here, and destroying Tangles will spawn Threadlings. So with that Tangle sitting on the ground right there, the Warlock shoots at it. And then the Threadlings are these kind of projectiles that track along the ground towards enemies and sort of explode on impact. So that stuff's looking pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of the Colony insect robot grenade things, but with Strand, obviously. So a bunch of bits of gear right there that interact with Strand quite a bit. Here though, we get that exotic glaive in more depth, and it's Winter Bite, and it freezes enemies with Frost Orb. So it's able to fire out the projectile right here, which can freeze a bunch of enemies at a time. Actually something which will be pretty fun with a glaive, I'd imagine. With it being both ranged and close range, having that ability to freeze enemies gives players more control in the battlefield, especially if you then want to push up and get close with the melee attacks and stuff. So that one looks potentially pretty fun. And here we see a bunch of Cabal spawning in with these interesting new effects. Some of the environment details actually pretty interesting. We've got the kind of darkness themed stuff, somewhat similar to Vow of the Disciple, and then a Cabal tank which appears to be modified with that darkness technology. And that looks absolutely awesome as well. There's a weapon that the Warlock's firing right here as well. I'm not sure exactly what kind of weapon that is. I don't believe it's been shown off in the rest of the trailer. So give us your thoughts about it down below. Obviously though, there are going to be other weapons, exotics, and various collections in the expansion as well, but it's pretty cool to get a better look at those ones right there. It actually seemed to be pretty exotic focused. And there are a bunch of screenshots that you can see right here, primarily for the exotic weapons, but also a few legendaries and bits of gear and stuff like that, so definitely worth taking a better look. You can check some of those out on the screen right here. And guys, what do you think? What are you excited to try out? I think a bunch of those weapons actually look really cool, the exotic machine gun especially. And I'm quite a big fan of glaives, so I'll certainly be curious to try that one out too. But as always, give us your thoughts down in the comment section. In addition to that new trailer today though, Bungie are dropping a patch for Season 19 a bit later on, and so arriving alongside the weekly reset, we're going to see hotfix 6307. And a couple of the impactful changes for this include, initially, that reputation gains for Iron Banner are going to be increased. And so Fortress kicks off today, and this will be the final Iron Banner for Season 19, bear that in mind, but Bungie said they've increased base reputation earned per match, as well as an increased multiplier contribution from wearing Iron Banner armor, and from equipping an Iron Banner emblem. So if you're looking to rank up and unlock some of the rewards for this season, it should be a bit easier to do it this time. But on top of that, if you're still collecting weapons from Season 19, or any of the other seasons in Year 5, Bungie are adjusting the weekly deep sight drops, so they say weekly deep sight red border weapon focusing from the exoframe at the helm will be adjusted to daily availability for the remainder of the season. And that's going to be exactly the same for weapons from Season 16 to 19, so it's pretty much talking about any of the stuff from Year 5, and this is to help players craft the weapons before Lightfall arrives. And so I think it's definitely worth taking note of that, especially given that we've got some weapons from this year that are really strong, and that come with the verb perks, things like Volt Shot, Incandescent, and Repulsor Brace. Some of those are potentially going to have some new functionality with champions in Year 6 as well. And so definitely take note of them. This season we've got awesome weapons like Path of Least Resistance, that's the trace rifle that can get Volt Shot. Another really good Volt Shot weapon from Season 18, I believe, is the Tarnished Metal. That's an awesome scout rifle, and with it being Iron Banner this week, the Dark Decider auto rifle can additionally roll Volt Shot now. Obviously the Iron Banner weapon isn't something we can craft, but we've got other really good stuff. Things like the Callus Mini Tool with Incandescent, or the Judgment of Kelgaroth. No doubt there could be a handful of weapons and rolls to look out for, so bear that in mind, maybe that's a separate video. But for today, guys, that is everything we have to speak about. So let us know what you think of the new Lightfall trailer, some of the juicy gear we got to look at. But if you've enjoyed the video today, a rating below really does help us out on the channel. And feel free as well to get subscribed for more Destiny content. But otherwise, I'll catch you guys very soon.